Made in Texas, not in California. That's right. It's a wet paint production. 3 weeks later than what? The previous episode? Okay. Yeah, there's those apartments again. Here's Jocelyn doing her makeup regimen.
Mm-hmm. So quick. It's a long story. Anyway, this is where I live. And these are my friends. There's Doc and Karen and Paul and Becky.
And we didn't have, this intro was this like voiceover intro business. Wasn't
they're always there to get my back.
On every episode.
No, I started off doing that with having you talk to the camera, and then I just decided it kind of wasn't my style, and so I voiceover every once in a while is okay.
No. Yeah.
But this is the Irving Convention Center. This place was actually fairly new when we shot this. I think they'd only built it 2 or 3 years previous.
I was waiting for you to say that's no longer there either.
Yeah, no, that one is still there. And that building behind you guys, is the building where we shot the scene in episode 2 with the horses, where Stella goes and shows Reggie her preliminary drawings for his smutty drawing.
This was a fun day.
Yeah. And all of this stuff was shot way before the rest of the episode. Like this stuff was shot in late May, whereas most of this episode was shot in September, because this was the last convention that was happening before we were supposed to be done. So if we were going to get that, that production value of real convention footage, this was the one we had to do. So I got a lot of this stuff all scripted out. Hey, here's my buddy Cal Slayton. Cal is an actual and super talented comic book artist. And he has also done a lot of acting. He and some friends have done some of those video race things in the past. And he showed me some short films he was in where he was really funny. So, if Stella was going to talk to somebody, I knew that it had to be Cal.
So you guys setting up?
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out where. Do you know where the Grimstead room is?
Noisy in this place.
Yeah, it is.
It's very noisy.
That's my wife's favorite moment, is Cal grimacing at the dungeon.
You gotta be kidding me.
It may have already happened, but a few tables down is another friend of mine, David Hopkins, and he looks right at the camera. Yeah, we've already gone. It's already happened, but
that's great.
Yeah.
I love that in the story canon of this show, that the facial hair on him is his 3 weeks.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. That's a good point.
I was like, that's impressive for 3 weeks.
Yep.
Doc's manly.
Yep. Yeah, most guys could grow a goatee.
Oh gosh, the sword fight is one of my favorite things in the world that we did. Me and her, I remember having I think we kept saying, can we do one more take? Because we were having so much fun.
Yeah, it was lots of fun. So for this final episode, I actually cut new credits. These are different scenes than they were on the first 4. I did that just because I could. This is another episode like episode 3 that was originally shown in 2 parts, and that's because post-production was kicking my ass, and I couldn't finish the entire episode by the deadline, so I broke it into two parts. Speaking of Val Hornet, here she is, Val Nelson now.
That's just nasty.
Jocelyn, you were trying to get me to cast Val in this show from day one.
Yeah. She's a huge geek. She was going to be all over this.
Yeah. And again, just one of the sweetest people you would ever want to meet. And that's a DeLorean, not the DeLorean, but that's a DeLorean from Back to the Future
and that's
behind
the DeLorean
her.
From Back to the Future.
Oh, it's a replica. Yeah.
There's Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. And I do like that you just kind of barely see this guy's Batman cape fluttering in the wind.
Did you see the guy that hovered over her shoulder that just stared at the camera for a while and then walked off?
No. Wow, how did I miss that?
That was funny.
This was a fun day, although these were very tight quarters.
Yeah.
I remember really enjoying this shoot.
It's so quiet. There's no
That's
down here. It's almost a natural.
That's a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy joke. The beware of the leopard.
This is what I'm telling you, and I'm the guy.
Chuck Moore, hot buttered Chuck. Another staple of the pocket sandwich theater.
Hey, Doc.
Stella. Chuck makes a meal out of this, and it is very fun.
He's solid and just absolutely everything.
And he has one line that is, again, one of my all-time favorite bits of performance in this show, where he says, I used to be a nice guy. I used to be easygoing. Chuck does it a lot better than I do. But
I will say he has what I like to call like fantastic acting eyes.
Yeah.
Like his eyes are all over the place, and I'm just staring at them for this whole scene.
Yeah.
I had another vendor who wanted your table. And
he's like a cartoon too. I just love to put him and Jade in like a
oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, there it is. Here it is. Oh, it's not here yet. Anyway,
we're just gonna watch it for a while.
Yeah,
everybody just enjoy.
Keep watching it.
Show is doing to me.
It's hard to.
I didn't used to be like.
Here it is.
I used to be a calm, likable guy. I used to be easygoing.
I mean, I wrote it, but it still makes me laugh because it's all.
What a Oscar-worthy delivery.
Yeah.
And friggin' Lockhart.
It's he's literally constipated on that entire line.
And this is another joke. He says Anne Lockhart, who's an actress, did $40,000 worth of damage to her hotel room. Well, Anne Lockhart is the sweetest, gentlest, nicest person you would ever want to meet, which is exactly why I picked her for this joke.
See Tom Jane.
And Stella really should know who Tom Jane is, but yeah, she doesn't. This is great.
Jocelyn did not know who Tom Jane was at that time either. Now she does.
Now she does, yeah.
So what are we going to do?
I'm going to go in there and see who snaked our tape.
That is a title.
And Nick Caldwell yet again.
Yeah, well,
oh, Nick.
And Nick did not tell me he was getting this haircut.
Guys, no hard feelings about the table, right?
But, it was, I figure, hey, Lance goes for an extreme cut every once in a while, so it's no big deal.
Well, so
I'd forgotten.
This is making my head hurt.
Oh yeah, Nick's Lance is a big character in this episode.
I haven't had a chance to see much of her.
But you're just gonna blow off the whole weekend? You were going to announce your book. Maybe we can squat at someone else's table.
Nah, it would have been fun, but I think I'm just gonna go.
Okay, this is a lousy commentary.
Oh, sorry. We're just watching.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I know. It's hard to not just watch.
My dog's licking the couch, so I had to mute for a second to tell him to stop.
And so here's Thrasher, and check how long his hair is because he gets a haircut before he appears again later in the show. Yeah.
The Cod with Randy Lakes.
And here's Rhonda Rose. She's going to be Rhonda Rose now.
It's just going to be the gorgeous off in this take.
Yep.
Glamour shots.
My pleasure, Randy. Selena's book, Valkyrie 395, is one of the longest running independent comic books on the market and the cornerstone of your publishing empire.
Poor Val had a hard time getting through this long speech I had given her, so I just ended up doing it in cuts. And I figured, this is kind of a low budget. It's supposed to be like a low budget web show, so if it has a bunch of cuts in it, that's just going to sort of reinforce that feeling.
I'm sad it said such a nice title logo. I was like, I'm waiting for the iMovie spin star transitions.
Now, speaking of people who look directly at the camera, in a couple of minutes here, or maybe it's right here. This Joker guy looks right at the camera. But again, that's
way more obvious than
right. But he's looking at the camera that's filming Randy Lakes. So that makes sense. That's perfectly okay.
I love the lethargic Harley Quinn that followed behind him.
There's a fantastic local artist who's appearing at the con right
now.
Yeah,
also pretty windy on this day.
Or Stella B, as she's sometimes known.
Joss.
I'm sure.
Thanks.
Rhonda wasn't happy that the hair
And then he
kept
just
blowing
sold
into
the
her
table
face.
right out from under us. It was a really crappy thing to do.
Can't say I'm surprised.
There's my old buddy Jerry Monroe again, playing Ray, the comic book
with you. You could set
store
up in
owner.
The back. You might even sell a few books.
Nah, nobody would come. Everybody's at the convention.
Not everybody. What do you got to lose? You set aside the whole weekend.
Okay. I'll tweet an update.
I was not a
Thanks,
big
Ray.
comics person. I think I mentioned this in the first episode, first commentary.
Yeah.
So when we were at that store, that's literally when I learned you could like do subscriptions
Oh yeah.
for like specific comic runs, and they would like hold them for like I didn't even know that. Like that's how much of like unknown the comic that at least that part of it.
I didn't
Yeah,
even
cool.
learn that shooting this show. I learned it years later when my now husband wanted to get back into reading comics, and he was reading, I think, The Walking Dead, and the local comic book store would hold him issues in their folders
Oh yeah.
for him.
Yeah. No, it's a cool deal. Yeah,
I
it's a
had
cool
no
deal.
idea that was a thing either, and was really not observant at all. When we were
Wow, here's another weird coincidence. I'm wearing this "There's No Spoon" shirt, and a new Matrix just came out.
Yeah.
What a weird circle we go in.
Yeah, and here's these really awesome actresses playing Lance's ex-girlfriends. Emily, oh gosh, what's Emily's last name, Jocelyn?
She got married, and so I can't remember her new last name, but
All right, but anyway, she was awesome.
You might encounter Emily as your flight attendant on American Airlines.
Oh, is she doing that now? That's fun.
She's been doing that a while, yeah.
That's really okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So they've even used her in like the in-flight video that shows at the beginning, like to tell you how to like put on your mask.
Oh, right.
Yeah, she's like featured in their press. Yeah, because she was like a model before too. So
yeah, and the amazing Caitlin Duree. Oh, I was so happy to be able to
She's
capture
so
her
good.
in
I
this.
remember watching that, having a hard time not laughing.
And this and this young lady's name is Gemma, I think. Oh gosh, I should have looked all this up.
This is an actress that I didn't know, so I don't know.
Well, she was Nick's girlfriend at the time, and
that's right.
I'm virtually positive they are no longer together. So I always wonder if that's awkward for him, or if he ever even. I'm sure he probably doesn't even look at this, but who knows?
I mean,
yeah.
Wait, which one's his girlfriend?
This young lady on the screen right here. They were dating at the time, and he suggested her, and I was like, sure, absolutely, have her come in. I remember on the set we were sort of debating how upset she should be. You know, should she be like really like, you know, TV movie upset, or should she be like high school upset? You know, and this is what we ended up with, and I think she does a really nice job.
I get it. He's not the nicest guy. And a terrible.
That was the shirt I had specially made because I really wanted you to wear a shirt that said "There is no spoon."
It's a shirt that Paul would have had made.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So this location was it was a strip mall that was mostly not being used, and it belonged to Joey Dietz's ex-in-laws. But they were still on good enough terms that they let us come in on a couple of different weekends and shoot here. There were like several empty offices. That's where we did the corridor scene with Chuck, was that same location. In fact, it was literally just around the corner from this scene here. They had all these empty offices, like those bookshelves were already there. You know, that desk was already there.
This one's my favorite of the borrowed offices, though, because it's got that great blue wall.
That blue wall,
you don't often get anything cool like that.
Yeah, exactly. The TARDIS wall.
You could do some fun, just like put new backdrops on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now they're at the beach.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Now they're having this conversation with George Foreman.
You know, and this was kind of against type for Jade as well, because Jade also usually played quirky and cute and funny, and you know, like you said, Jade's basically kind of a walking cartoon as it is, and so for her to play this sort of dark character was a lot of fun. I thought.
the stuff she gets cast in is usually so exaggerated.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree.
I really
No,
like
remind me, was that a wig she was wearing?
No.
Okay, I
that's
couldn't remember
all-
if that was her hair. If that was a
I don't
She
think
just had amazing hair.
Yeah, she really did.
They don't have souls, right?
So this is a fun scene with you and James. James was our boom guy. James is the guy holding the boom mic.
I love
for
James. James is awesome, and he will ever hold a special place in my heart for getting a picture of Summer Glau saying hi to me at that Comic-Con.
That's right. So hey, notice how much shorter Reggie's hair is than in that previous scene. You know, there's certainly time for Reggie to have gone to the barber, but
I mean, he
still
did it the
looked weird
same
to me.
day. He had an appointment the same day.
Yeah, that's what he did in between there and there. I wish I could take credit for that, but sniffing the art was all Kevin Thrasher.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised.
I'm not sure if that's good or bad that you're not surprised. No.
It's just a good call.
Yeah.
A pleasure doing business with you, Stella B.
It's the mark of a creeper.
Yeah.
No.
And I think this was your idea with the spritzer. I should have got an insert of that, him picking that cane up. Yeah, I think this was your idea, Jocelyn. I don't remember thinking of it. I think you had that in your purse, and you're like, I should like spritz after he leaves.
I like that you're still 4 minutes later, still like wiping your hands down.
So this is Stevie Wicks. And I wrote this part specifically for Bill Ottstadt because Bill had been very helpful and he'd let us use his apartment. He'd been really cool. And so I was like, well, I got to write Bill a scene. So I wrote this, but when it came to it, Bill had a conflict and he could not do it. So Stevie Wicks came in and was hilarious.
Listen, Bex.
This is at
no
Lacey's apartment. Lacey Valle.
He's gonna dump you.
Is that? I don't know if I'm saying that right or not either.
He's gonna dump you as soon as he's done shooting the movie. Maybe soon.
And as far as I'm aware, Jade did her own makeup, but it is just so perfect.
Your little roadie here.
These raccoon eyes.
Has been giving me crap since day one. Why are you even letting her?
It's true, Becky. I wish it wasn't, but
he's a serial leading lady banger. He does.
I like that there's tequila on the table along with the Diet Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I think that belonged to Lacey. I don't think we. Oh no! I think Alexis brought that. I think Alexis came in to do this scene with a big bag of stuff that she thought Becky would have. And I'm pretty sure everything on that table belongs to Alexis.
I kind of just love the way this is set up. Is that Jade is drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper, Alexis is drinking coffee, and from the way it looks, I am drinking the tequila. From the way it's placed,
right? Like all the posters and things, those were all Lacey's. Her apartment is always totally nerded out. But like the photos back there behind Jade, they're all of Alexis. So she must have brought that.
She was always prepared.
I don't think I gave her a credit as set director, but I should have.
That son of a bitch.
He says that to all of them. It's his go-to get in your pants story. Wait.
I always wondered if this whole
Do
thing about Jade getting revenge because this guy was a dick to her sister really played all that well. I mean, it was, it was something that I felt like it was justifiable when I was doing it. But when I watch it now, I'm like, would anybody really do that? I don't know.
This is another T Fury shirt, by the way. It says
Batman. I remember that shirt.
Say that scene at the table, Jeff. Those kind of scenes are very hard to shoot well and have it fit well. You did a really great job of shooting that table scene. Like the transitions and the shots were different each time, but also felt all connected. You did a really good job.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. It does. I think there's at least one or two shots that cross the line, but when you got three people at a table, it's so hard to keep all that straight. Yeah.
They seem symmetrical to me.
I knew it. What am I gonna
Alexis loved these big scarves also.
I don't want to see
scarves.
Thank you.
It's cosplay.
It's cosplay, baby, not cosplay.
I almost
I've had people argue with me about that apparently cosplay is acceptable, but it doesn't make any sense to me. So there you go. But that was the previous episode.
This shot makes me look. I feel like it looks like I have eyeliner on my.
So you think you're going to dump me? If anyone's doing the dumping around here, it's going to be Becky. Capiche?
Looks like she's on a walkie-talkie.
Capiche, yeah.
Capiche.
Yeah, I think so.
Come on, everybody out of my house.
Look.
See, here's
grab the tequila.
Yeah, exactly. Here's Jade's Led Zeppelin shirt, which she probably shouldn't have been wearing, but you can't see the logo very well, so it's all good. Right there is where the first part stopped when this was originally 2 parts. Jason Dilworth again. He's a funny boy, that Jason.
Will you calm down?
Now, we never had time to dress sets as well as they should be. Most of them I can live with. This one really bugs me. There should be more stuff on this table. There should be empty soda cans. There should be pens. There should be a cash box. There should be just a bunch of crap. A bunch of like stickers that somebody has walked along and handed them. This bare-looking table just really bugs me. But, what am I going to do about it now? Maybe I can CGI some stuff in. That'll be part of my remaster.
Yeah, you go. Just CGI Brie Larson in behind them as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
From Gilligan's Island.
So yeah, this was the big scene I had written for Bill, and he just couldn't make it that day. So, not that I'm unhappy Stevie Wicks is in the show, because Stevie is comedy gold.
Yeah,
he's another guy that's done a lot of shows at the Pocket, and Stevie is hilarious. Always.
I wish I would have gotten into the Pocket a lot earlier.
Yeah,
and because I only got to do one show with them, but it was like a lot later in kind of my life area time period.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I wish I would have got into that a lot earlier.
Do you want to talk to her?
And I didn't even notice until watching this recently, but there is a huge section of this episode with no Doc. He's in it right at the beginning, and then I think there's a solid 25 minutes with no Doc in it.
Well, he's not involved in the whole Lance storyline, is he?
No.
So it makes sense that he wouldn't be in, because this whole part is about that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and he gets the payoff with the blonde here in a few minutes, but other than that, this is a fairly Doc-free episode.
Well, and him and Laura had already resolved,
Right.
By the way, did you see that?
But this was a script that kind of got written in dribs and drabs rather than as one continuous flow. There were certain scenes we had to shoot.
Okay, this is all very confusing.
Ahead of time, just because of a scheduling thing, and I had not the scene that's coming up with Ben and Laura.
Half hour ago, chasing after that Becky chick.
At the wall, looking for more people.
Yeah, where are you looking, Dan? And why do you need 2 copies of the same?
Why didn't I grab the other?
I just enjoyed that frantic entrance of yours.
Yeah.
And you just looked at the wall as if there was something there to see.
Yeah.
And you also
I'm looking at Brie Larson.
Yeah. You pull this wad of money out of your pocket and you just throw it down. You don't look at it. You don't count it.
I don't think he looks at it. I could have just thrown him a $5 bill and ran out.
Yeah.
For an actress, you are the least.
So I had somebody once say to me, "Boy, I really hate this Lance character," and I was like, "You're supposed to." Oh, this face of Alexis, this makes me laugh so much.
So yeah,
just her face is during this whole speech.
Off the movie? You're barely halfway through it. How are you going to finish
Jade in the background just.
And there's my pal Jennifer again, who was very lucky for us. Basically, fit the costume.
Yeah, they're
exactly.
the same size.
They're almost the same size. Even though I have the impression that Jennifer's taller, but the suit fit her really well too. So it was it made the joke pay off very well.
Who wore it better on the socials?
And this was literally about 3 weeks before Jennifer's wedding. She was very nice to make the 4-hour drive up from Austin to shoot this, because she was, like I said, right just about to get married. Matter of fact, because she was blonde in the previous episode, but she decided for her wedding she wanted to go her natural hair color, and so that's why she's a redhead here.
Right. Come on, Jen.
And I just want to reiterate, I mentioned this I think in the first commentary, how crazy it is literally like how nice everybody was in this show.
Yeah.
Like usually you'll have one person who's kind of like in their own world doing their own thing, or like that's not mean, but maybe just has their own stuff going on. Or but everybody was in this show was just so nice to work with and just hang out with in between takes, and that's such a rarity with such a big cast like this.
Still a couple of hours before closing. Really should stay.
Well, you know, I really wasn't.
I've got time.
I mean, you know, you can't regulate these things absolutely, but you know, I really wasn't going to put up with people being horrible to each other. You know, if there were ever a problem, you know, I'd call somebody out, but never had to on this show.
No.
Yeah.
We were all awesome.
Yeah. So the previous scene was written with Spec's character participating, but Spec had a conflict on that day, and it was such a logistical nightmare getting everybody else in there that I had to make a choice, and the choice was cutting Spec out of the scene. So that's why I had him run at the end, so he could at least, because that was shot outside the store and they didn't have to be open. So we shot that much later. Come outside.
I just saw Sabbath and I thought it was like a weird alert.
I like the little face you make when you look over and you see that it's Patrick and you don't really know what to think.
I love that she's hiding behind him.
Yeah. Almost completely got her hidden. I think her skirt flutters a little.
You can see her heel.
Yeah,
a little bit behind the leg.
But yeah, that was the joke. But talk about an amazing actress. My gosh, Rhonda is just one of the best.
I'm really having a good time. Fine.
Jocelyn, you can say you're in a scene with Batman and Spider-Man.
And smile. Mention the anthology by name. Emphasize the release date in October.
Patrick does so much with a glare.
He's
gotta love this guy.
Also good. No.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he didn't hit her.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
Meet me at this address at 8 o'clock. Adieu.
Oh, okay.
See, I feel like if I hadn't been cast as Paul, that's the role I would have played. Is that
the
role?
bodyguard?
Yeah.
Patrick's such a huge guy.
Yeah.
That was so perfect to have him paired with Rhonda like that.
Yeah. This was another scene where this was literally just me and Jill. I called her and I said, "Look, we just need this quick little scene. Can you meet me like at this mall?"
Alyssa.
Now, here's a fun fact. That shot of Doc, he's actually standing against that blue wall. But I knew it was going to be so noticeable and people were going to say, "Wait, that's the same room," that I got a friend of mine, my special effects guy, to turn it brown.
Oh, nice.
Instead of blue. Yeah.
And now he's at a beach.
Yeah. So this is the same little park. It's not little at all. This is the same park where we shot all the dino pickup footage. What's great about this park is that it is huge and it is long. So we could go like all the way down to the sort of end part of the park, and people just wouldn't bother us because nobody would walk down that far because all of like the carousel and the jungle gym and all that stuff was down the other way. So we sort of roped off this last little part of the park for ourselves, and we hardly ever got bothered. I mean, there were people who would go jogging around the path, but it's just such a picturesque place. Unfortunately, this is the place that right behind those trees you cannot see is a train track, and the stupid trains would run with increasing frequency and screw up our shots.
I was really hoping when we saw Doc again, he would be clean shaven again.
No, this was the scene. I had to write this scene early and film it early because he was going to have to shave again for a show. I think this was the last time we had to do that, but see, he had to match the convention footage from several that had been shot like 3 months earlier, so that he had to have the goatee in this scene, and that's why. And this was tough for Laura because this is it's heavy on dialogue for all three of them, but Laura kind of had the most emotional stuff in this scene, and they only got this scene like 4 days ahead, and Laura was struggling a bit, and not all that happy with me for giving her a scene 2 days earlier that was going to require this much, intensity. But they all did a great job, like they always do. Like at one point, I think she said to me, "I can give you the words or I can give you the emotions, but I can't give you both." But she did end up giving me both.
Of course not.
That's because Laura's awesome.
Yeah, Laura's awesome. She's completely awesome.
The blonde threatens you.
Now, my directing style tended to be fairly artless, just sort of capture everything in as no fuss a way as possible. But I was very happy with these sort of Scorsese-esque whip pans back and forth between Alyssa and Ben.
No, these are great. Especially the way they stop smoothly is impressive.
It's a wonder
yeah, stopping that camera smoothly is not easy.
You, Alyssa, own a web design consulting business.
Yeah, there's a lot of words in these shows, right there.
That's how you always get somebody. Taxes.
Taxes. Yeah. Exactly.
That's how they got Al Capone. That's how you get the blonde.
Yeah.
You have money. And I have a lawyer on retainer that eats guys like Barry for brunch. Plus, he has a little bit of a crush on me, so he tends to take cases like this personally. I'm fortified. This is a battle you can't
This was a tricky scene for Ben because you could definitely see this as being sort of emasculating. It was never my intention. My intention was that we had set up Karen as this sort of a fluffy bunny character, very whimsical, very sweet and charming. But what I wanted to show is that when it came down to brass tacks, she was made of steel, and she could knock Alyssa on her ass if need be. But unfortunately, the practical upshot of this is that Doc just kind of stands there and watches it happen. So I wasn't, and I think even Ben was a little concerned about that when we shot this, but I really never intended it as something detrimental to Doc. I was just trying to show what a layered character and what a strong character Karen actually was, despite the appearance of being sort of.
I mean, I don't see it as emasculating. I see it really where you have these two people care about each other, and there's some battles the other person does need to fight for you a little bit, So I don't think it's a problem. Because especially we've kind of talked about how like their relation, the ex and his relationship, and the issues he kind of has there. So I think having her come in where she kind of helps him out and takes away some of that anxiety from him. Again, it makes sense.
Yeah. We just missed that last shot of Stephanie's bright yellow truck. She drove that truck all during the time we were shooting the show, and we all missed that yellow truck. This is my friend Rusty's house. I've shot here a couple of times. We shot the first Ronnie Redshirt in this house. Rusty and I are like pals back to high school, and they let us shoot here.
Very nice house.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's up in Plano. And that, do you remember that, Jocelyn?
I do, because I can't whistle.
So Stephanie did the whistle, and you just puckered your lips, but Stephanie actually did the whistle, and that's not ADR. That actually was, we shot that on the day.
We just practiced.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. So this is a long scene. This scene probably could stand a little editing, but what are you gonna do?
You have a beautiful house. It's a rental. If I have to stay in Dallas more than 24 hours, I rent. Hotel rooms give me the creeps. So,
Selena was an interesting character, and I think Rhonda brought a lot more to it. She was not really based on any particular comic book creator, but I just had this notion of this character who was so entitled that she just basically, because she'd had so much success in so many ways, that she just kind of basically felt like the world was her oyster. And I think Rhonda even said to me at one point, well, she should be like gay, or bisexual at least. And I said, that's great, but in my head, she's just omnisexual. Just like anything she thinks she should have sex with, she's gonna have sex with him. And
I wrote and drew my
it's a
while I was working as a waitress and
money does weird things to people, and being rich can turn people very strange sometimes. And I feel like that's kind of what happened with her.
What does that mean?
Yeah, no, I can see that. I remember doing the scene with Rhonda, and she plays that power dynamic so well.
Yeah.
To just like make you feel off center.
Yeah.
A little bit of virgin's blood.
Yeah.
You're kidding. Are you kidding?
Yeah, whatever you need Rhonda to do, she does it pretty brilliantly.
Yeah.
I've never actually tasted absinthe.
That is a huge glass of absinthe. Like, that would knock you out. That's like 2 fingers of absinthe.
I think she just sips it.
If you want it. I've got about a half dozen backup stories that need an artist, and I can definitely throw some inking work your way. What's your day job?
Oh, I'm a proofreader for Big D Magazine.
Big D Magazine?
Well,
that's a real magazine. Oh, no, it was just D Magazine.
D Magazine.
Yeah, it was just D Magazine. That's right.
Entry level stuff.
Big D Magazine.
Yeah.
Worse.
It does sound interesting what I'm proofreading.
Yeah.
People read the articles.
Yeah, exactly.
It did not occur to me what that sounded like until just now.
Oh, that's funny.
Because Big D is Dallas.
Yeah, that's same here. I
grew up here.
I didn't even get it. I didn't get that. That sounded kind of dirty.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Especially given like all the stuff with Thrasher,
right?
Requesting those drawings,
right?
And there's going to be a certain amount of nudity, so.
Maybe that would be hilarious though if there was like this weird reveal that that's what she did as a side job. But she had her line is doing like lewd drawings.
She's the fact checker for a porno mag, right?
Yeah. Like ask her to do a lewd drawing, she's out.
Yeah,
exactly. And here is one of the few times I shouldn't out myself, but I just completely missed a shot. I do not have a shot of Rhonda actually saying "love the erotic Supergirl," so she says it in your sort of 2-shot here with Patrick. I was pretty good about that. I didn't keep a formal shot list, but having written the scripts, I usually knew exactly what I needed to film, and I was really annoyed with myself reviewing the rushes that I didn't actually, because there's lots of close-ups of Rhonda. I just did not have one of her actually saying that line.
I'm wearing another T-Fury shirt.
Yeah, you're just keeping that company in business.
Oh, it's Charlie Brown with the horn. Nice.
Yeah. This was the last time the 5 of you were together in a scene. And we're finally, hey, Doc's finally, no, Doc was back on the show earlier, never mind.
Wait, you guys are still doing that stupid documentary?
Oh, yeah. I still have those shoes.
I think you're going to like it.
The pants I'm wearing, Val designed. She had a line of workout wear at one point.
Oh, really?
And,
that's funny.
Yes, and those, I still have those pants.
That's funny.
They're very comfortable.
Hey, cell phone's off, Botticelli.
I'm sorry. Oh, I have to take this. Oh.
I like Doc doing the monocle.
Selena, hi.
Stella, good. Listen, something's come up and I need to talk.
This was.
I don't know why I like that. Have the high. Yeah, have the high. So, she's like, Stella, good. She didn't ask how you are. Just Stella, good.
Yeah.
Oh, she's right down to business. Yeah.
Oh.
And Rhonda's side of this conversation was shot in the same house as the previous scene. In fact, you can even, this is like the little study that's just off the front door. You can kind of see it in some of the wider shots in the previous scene.
So that means you'd have to move to sunny California, of course. This isn't a job that you can do by remote control, Stella.
Yeah, come to California, Stella. Stella, we got you.
Yes.
And this was the big cliffhanger. Stella gonna move away.
Well, her friends are there.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
to California.
One of them's not. One of them got ahead of you.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
Paul went to check it out for you.
And here we start a Lord of the Rings level number of false endings to this episode. because we still got like 7 minutes left. Another great cue from Andy.
He did such a wonderful job with the music.
Yeah. This is the most credited actors of any episode by far.
There you go. Emily's last name was Henderson.
There you
trying
go.
To remember.
There you go.
Shout out to Stephanie.
Shout out to Stephanie.
Literally like
Shout
the
out to
Swiss
Stephanie.
Army knife of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of this thing.
Yeah, this episode never set out to be like 45 minutes long, but I just felt like there was a certain amount of stuff I needed to resolve.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even with a cliffhanger, I still needed to resolve most of it. And so it just ended up being that long.
Mm.
And these little sort of "Where Are They Now" captions were made to compensate for. Originally, there was going to be a 6th episode that was just the documentary. It was going to be a sort of a Spinal Tap-esque thing, a fake documentary, the thing that Paul and Jazz were making, and all the gang were going to be interviewed in it and such. But we were all just so exhausted by this point that I just said, okay, we're not doing that. So those were sort of to substitute in to give a little bit of information.
This is great with Stephanie.
Yep. And you guys basically improvised this. I said, okay, she's super awkward and she wants a hug.
I
Go.
saw your tweet and was hoping you could sign my book.
Oh, sure. What's your name?
Anastasia Felicity.
And if we'd done that season 2, Anastasia was going to come back, and she and Lacey were going to be super awkward sisters who were creepy fans of Stella's.
Oh, well, thank you.
I would have loved if you would have taken the Comic-Con noise and just added it to this.
Right? Sure. Oh.
And look, there's Brie Larson.
Why are you obsessed with Brie Larson?
I don't know. I did it hilarious that she would be like, you just add her behind all the scenes.
And this was just like anybody that spoke in the series was going to be in this final crawl.
Hey,
Technically, Vaughn didn't speak, but he was featured. Jerry Tuggle. Crystal, very, very sweet.
I love that scene.
Some of these are outtakes and some of them are just shots from the show.
Oh,
Lauren! Sheila! We'll just say the names of everybody.
Lacey.
Lacey. Caitlin. Now, that's right, it was Caitlin Mills at the time. She hadn't even gotten married yet. No, she's divorced, unfortunately. Gemma, yeah, I thought it was Gemma. It's Taylor, love Chris. Love Chris. Cal Slayton, my old buddy. Speck.
He's so good.
Mm-hmm. Jerry.
Jason the X.
Jason smiling. He didn't get to smile that whole scene.
I need to watch the blooper reel again.
The bloopers are fun.
Yeah,
they're really fun.
That again.
I actually, for the Blu-ray, I found a few previously unreleased ones that are pretty fun. Oh yeah, including some Dan ones. Nice. Joey. If you go back and watch that scene, Stevie's got that book in front of his face, but he's bug-eyed the whole scene. It's hilarious.
That's a classic Stevie face.
Yeah. Yeah, I went back and watched Nick's audition, and I would challenge anybody to watch it and not say, just give this guy the job. It's a fantastic audition. Jade B. Jade technically puts a little sign over the A to show that it's a long A, but I couldn't always do that with some of these fonts. That's the only time anybody wears a wig in the entire show. It's Stephanie as cat.
Stephanie. The cat girl.
Good thing Alexis is not a ham or anything.
Not at all.
There's the goggles. Your favorite prop.
Speaking of ham. Ham shot first.
Ham shot first. There you go.
I will say one thing I'm very proud of. I believe my facial hair and my hair, I'm pretty sure, is pretty similar pretty much through the whole series. If I
think so.
correctly. I think it's a little too short, a little shorter in one of the scenes, but for the most part, I'm pretty proud of that.
As you should be.
That's right. Take that, Ben Bryant. I don't know if I can one-up you on acting, but I can one-up you on facial hair.
Dan, if I just cast you as Doc, my problems would have been over.
I would have been in more of that one episode.
I think I'm going to fall over.
Yeah. The
awesome.
song is by a group called Cuckoo Land, if you like her out. Music by Andy. Yay, Andy Wilson.
Andy's awesome.
Yep. The song is by a band called Cuckoo Land, which I really like, and I actually got permission to use several of their songs in the course of the show.
Dang.
I enjoy them too.
Yeah.
Jeff, dang you for doing this. Like I love it. Like I've loved watching this and doing this.
Here. Today I'm speaking
and
with
it is here's the final scene.
Oh, Botticelli.
Excuse me?
So Stella B in the Busted League 10 years ago. That just does not seem possible.
But like watching this, I'm just like, like this has been so much fun just to go back and watch it and just like talk with you guys and just remember like all the stuff we did and just like, because like you said, it took months to put everything together. So like just all those times we got to hang out.
Yeah.
What makes your work particularly
and the sad thing is I'm doing all this work remastering all these episodes and none of you guys are going to watch them because you've all watched the old versions multiple times to get ready for doing these commentaries and things.
No, clearly we've proven that we are not the sort of actors that are afraid to watch ourselves on screen.
I will mock myself.
We will totally watch the Tuttle and I will get together and do commentary on the commentary.
Yeah, we'll do like a Mystery 3000 science theater type commentary.
There you go.
Sometime. Just a little improv commentary.
Yes.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Honestly, I would love doing that. That would be like so much fun for me.
I'd have to watch it more so I can get ready.
part of me watching this though, like, oh man, it's so bad because it's like, I do miss acting. Like I love writing, I love the stuff I'm doing, but it's like, and I know acting just takes up so much time. And it's like part of me is like, I do miss it.